Hey you guys, all right, so today I'm doing that look that y'all saw on my Instagram where I had that really close up, and I'll post some more photos of this too, but it's like this look where you have makeup, your eyes look defined, you look done, but up close your makeup is like undetectable. Like you can't see obvious eyeliner, you can't see a ton of eyeshadow or this or that, but from a distance, you know, you're contoured and you've got all that. But I just think the products are so important. It's just the look that I love to do. Like it's easy. I don't love such like a no makeup look. I want my eyes to look defined and dramatic. I want my lashes to look huge. I want to have eyeliner and like all of the things that make your eyes look defined. I don't want that detectable look. So we're gonna be doing that today. I'm gonna be taking you through it step by step, like old school tutorial, like tons of tips along the way. So many new products, you guys. A brush that's gonna like knock your socks off. Like I know you see me using a beauty blender, makeup brush, all these different things. This is what you're gonna be seeing me use from now on. This thing is magic and I used it for everything. And it is like such a nice quality brush. And this little thing is like magic for concealing, and like y'all are just gonna really, really love that because it is a very new, unique thing, a new, unique brush. So we're gonna be using some new things, a new eye palette that is just like obsessed with. A few little old things that are like down to the nubs, you know, that you'll definitely recognize. But so a mix of new and old, these like light eye patches, like give you like this lit up. It's just so good. I cannot wait to share everything with you guys. Everything is available at Nordstrom, so this video is in collaboration with them. I love working with them. I love getting all of my beauty stuff from there. For the most part, I think that you just can't go wrong. They have all the brands that I love, all the newest things, all of, you know, it's just so much selection. So I'm gonna link to every single thing that I used in the video as we go along. I'll link to what I'm wearing. This top, you guys, is like wearing a cozy, just being wrapped up like in a cozy blanket all day, but I like the length of it. It's not too short, it's not too long, so it's kind of cute and edgy, but you feel like you're just in your PJs all day or wearing your big favorite blanket all day, and it's just so buttery. And they do have pants that go with it, so now I kind of want to get that too. So I'll link to everything that you see, everything that I'm wearing. And I'm so excited to share this because again, like I said, this is just my go-to, things that pack a big punch, things that you don't have to be a pro or, oh, you have to have this specific technique down. No, the products do the work for you. And if I'm gonna spend money on stuff, that's what I want. You know what I mean? Like I want things that they're actually like working for me. The products are just things that you do not have to work so hard at to make work, and that's what I love. They just look so good. So cannot wait to share these things with you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into it, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. Again, everything available at Nordstrom, and I'll link to everything below. All right, you guys, so skin prep is so important. I'll link to the moisturizer that I use that really, you know, like I feel it does a great job with prepping my skin for makeup, but under eye patches and these types of treatments really, really make a difference. This is the Triangle of Light by Trish McEvoy. They hydrate, they plump, they depuff, they brighten, they have marine collagen, hyaluronic acid, and I think that they're so unique, especially if you don't want to pile on like a lot of thick under eye, you know, cream or whatever before makeup. Certainly, like this is such a good option. I love using products like this at night and in the daytime, but these particular ones are great for in the morning. They're just so great. And you know, you can point them in different directions. I really, you know, this is kind of like the long way to put them, but you could move it to where like one of the longer sides is like kind of further this way if you wanted to get it further under, you know, that part of your eye. But I really do like the ingredients. It makes a huge difference. Leave them on for about 10 minutes and then pat the serum in, and then you're good to go. So I've had mine on for a little bit. They're just really, really nice. And I think the serum itself is so good. All right, so I'm gonna use my favorite, the Airbrush Flawless Foundation by Charlotte Tilbury. It has just become my go-to. I'm gonna apply it with this new brush. This is probably, no joke, the best foundation brush I've ever used. It's the Even Skin Wet Dry Brush. And this foundation has so much coverage, but using a brush like this really even like adds to the coverage, and it just applies it so quickly. The size of this brush is perfect because you can get up under your eyes. It even has this other end, which I'll show you what I like to do with that in a minute. Works so well with liquids, but then it also works really well with powder blushes or powder products of any kind, which is kind of rare to find in a brush like this because usually ones that are made more for foundation are really too, honestly, sometimes too dense. And I like that this one's still very soft, but it's dense enough where you get the coverage. It just feels really good, and it's not, you know, it doesn't feel like you're being hard on your skin when you use it. Take this end and you can take that same exact foundation and touch up any areas that need extra cover. Like this brush though, you guys, is like magic. This little end is just so good. And with this foundation, I really don't need to bust out a lot of extra concealer because the coverage is so good, but it's just like magic. Like it just blurs every little imperfection away. And this brush is just so good. Then you can take the big end and like buff it back over. So I like this foundation because the tiniest bit, and like you kind of saw that first part that I did, I really kind of just used that all over. Just, you need maybe like, sometimes I get carried away and put too many pumps on my hand. You need like half a pump and it does your whole face. I feel like you're using much less product to get a fuller coverage result, so you don't feel like you've got such heavy product on your skin. I'm gonna use the Luminous Silk Under Eye. Well, this isn't technically under eye concealer, but I just really love that. And I stay away from putting concealer way up on this side because you really don't need it there. So kind of just think like where the little triangle of light patches were. And this brush, again, is the perfect size. You can just dab it right under your eyes. You don't need to use a million different products or a million different tools. And then right under your eye, you use the smaller brush. But the coverage with this tiny little brush, you can get like really precise. And it's just so good. A little bit of the lip product I'm using, which I'll link to. I've really been liking this. Again, the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme. I have really been enjoying this. And I have been using this just with a bit of lip liner, and that's like the lip look. So easy, fresh, and I haven't gotten my lips done in so long. I've really been enjoying some of these more like heavy duty lip plumpers, and this one really does make a huge difference. So to finish up with like prepping the skin, okay, I wanna show you guys like, you know, the contour and the bronzer, just very easy things that I've been doing. I do wanna show you guys something. Okay, this product that is the Chanel, I talk about for years, this is not meant to be like a bronzer that you really build up. This is just to like knock some of that flatness off your skin. It's truly like, think of it like a base, you know what I mean? So like just use your same foundation brush, whatever you use to apply your foundation, and put it in the areas, but like a little bit larger and softer that you would apply your contouring product, right? So this is gonna give your face some dimension and warm it up, especially when you use a foundation that has a lot of coverage like this one. Keeps your face from looking so just like too flat. And I have a lot of redness. So this foundation, yeah, like it matches my skin tone, and throughout the day, you know, it just, I look at it and it doesn't oxidize. It's just such a good color. But when you first apply it on me especially, it's just, it goes very like, because I have so much redness to cover. So this really helps, and I'm using just a very tiny bit of this, like I'm just kind of dabbing, and you can kind of see all this is doing is it's just giving my face some dimension. And yeah, like you can end it there for your contouring and stuff. There's been years like where this is just all that I use, and sometimes I do that. But I guess it's just, I want people to understand, think of this, and I'll link to it as well, more so as like paired with your foundation. It's just like an extra bit of your foundation. So for me, like I can't go too warm or too dark with my foundation because then it'll look way too dark here. Like this is even maybe like a shade darker than like what my neck is. Do you know what I'm saying? So I have to use a lighter tone of foundation, but I still want that effect, you know, of it not being so flat. So this is a good product for that. Now for my actual contour, this is just so good. You need the tiniest bit. And again, like you don't, I like to kind of do it in little sections. Again, this, I mean, look at that. This brush is just like everything, right? And for me, For me, again, I don't like to be super fussy, you know, whether I use a sponge, like if I use a beauty blender or if I use whatever to do my makeup, I use that blender for everything that you saw me use this for. I use the same brush and everything for everything because you're kind of blending it all together. So you can kind of see that gave a little more of a contour, and then I use it around my hairline, a little darker, but it's the tiniest bit. It's not like I'm layering on thick bronzer so much to build up to this color that you would want to contour with, or a really heavy cream product. This is thin, it is lightweight, and it lasts all day, and you need the tiniest amount. And then for like smaller areas, like for the nose, you can take the smaller part, which is again, just so perfect. I don't care what kind of makeup you use, whether it's a powder, whether it's a mineral, whether it's a liquid, whatever you need this brush. Like this is, I mean, you're gonna see me using this brush like all the time. It's my new fave, like for everything, okay? And then I take my same, because I don't want to put shimmer or anything, take the same color, whatever product you use for under your eyes, which I really do love this concealer. Maybe wipe off this part of the brush just a little, or just use your finger. A lot of times I just kind of dab this in with my finger. That creates kind of like the perfect dimension for your nose without it looking too harsh or too cakey with a lot of products. Like what I'm using is like thin, but they actually like have a lot of payoff. And I don't use powder to set, like I just do not use setting powder really ever, like for my face. I just don't feel like that's necessary. But I do occasionally, like this is fine and done, but if you just wanna like set that color, just use a light sweep of this bronzer. And I've been loving this airbrush bronzer. It is like, the product itself isn't so heavy. It's not like such a heavy cakey powder. It's just wispy and beautiful, just like an airbrush, truly just like airbrush, what you would think. The packaging is just like so chic. I just love that. Okay, eyes, you guys. So a lot of time, like I don't like to be super fussy with my eyes, but I like a dramatic lash, which I will link to the lash serum that I've used, the brow serum that has really helped my brows a lot. I don't really fill them much at all. I'll show you the product that I use because the whole idea of this is like simple and fresh, right? But still like, you know, done looking, okay? So I'll link to those products that have made such a big difference. But like for my actual eyeshadow, a lot of time I'll smudge just like a liner and leave it very fresh. But I do like that little bit of a done color. When I saw these, I fell in love. First of all, they come in 2 different colors, so 2 different quads. They're the Flawless Eye Filter Luxury Palette, and this is in Star Aura. This is kind of the lighter colorway of the 2. And there's another one that is like a little darker, which I'm definitely gonna pick up too, because this is that finish or that type of eyeshadow that is just not even like powdery. It's just satiny, almost looks like a liquid when you put it on, but it's just light. And so I take one of the lighter colors and I just sweep it all over my lid, same as I would just any of those like neutral eye colors that I like to use, because I don't like a lot of blending. I don't like a lot of back and forth with a brush. I use a very light hand. And then these 2 beautiful colors down here that are just the perfect, like can you see how perfect that is in the crease? It's a color that you truly cannot make a mistake with. Like it's not dark enough where, you know, you could really like go nuts and like do too much, but you could really build it up and I don't know, you just can't go wrong. So this is just such a pretty color. So it just creates this like, do you see that? Like I feel like I didn't really put much at all, but just the shadow, and it's just so natural. It just looks like natural color on your eyes, which is what I like. Like I don't like a lot of harsh colors. Take a little bit maybe of this lighter, you know, medium color at the bottom and sweep it under my lower lash line. I love the eyeshadow. And then you can take one of these lighter colors, like sometimes I'll take that one and just put it right in the middle, the lightest color there at the top. Cannot make a mistake. The Flawless Eye Filter eye palettes. These are new. Check these, like, oh, love so much. For me, who like hasn't been a huge fan of a lot of eyeshadows, or, you know, I like a simple palette. This is it. I take my little baby, my Barbarella Brown, which is just my favorite liner of all time. And you don't have to be precise. You don't have to be too careful because you're gonna smudge it. You can take another brush, your finger, whatever, a little cotton swab. You don't have to get fancy with smudging this out. It's like a sexy eyes, you know, like just flattering, but it's not like you can see all the makeup, right? It's just, oh, it's perfect. And then the push-up lashes, which I have been loving. This gets better and better. I've used it so much. Like I'm about in need of another one. Again, like that's a mascara that you just don't have to work much with. It's like the effort is done. You know what I'm saying? Like it does the effort for you. And that's how I feel as well about, like I said, my brows, the serum. So, you know, again, find like a good brow serum, which I will link to the one that I love, and then minimal effort, right? And then just kind of leave your brows alone. Like I haven't been overly trimming them, which they've gotten so much better since I've stopped trimming them so much. You know, obviously like I haven't tweezed them or shaped them in years, but like I just, you know, I don't know, like they've filled in, they've gotten thicker. The brow serum that I use is wonderful, which I'll link to that. But I don't have to do much to fill them in. I just use a really good brow gel filler, which I like to use a brow gel anyways, even if it's just clear, you know, just to like keep them in place. So if you can get one that has a little bit of a tint to it that looks natural and not too slick. I really love this Benefit Gimme Brow, and I use shade 2. It's just such a good universal shade. I feel it's a good product. It's really nice. And I forgot, you guys, I should have showed you this before, but this is the blush that I've just been obsessed with. It is the number 21, this Chanel Stick Blush. So put a little bit on my cheeks like that, and you can use your fingers, you can use anything, but I like to use this same brush that I used with my foundation. That is just the best, I think, for blending in cheek color, because then it kind of, not tones it down, but I just feel like it really blends it better. My favorite luminizer highlighter product. This is just such an easy go-to for me. So pretty. Just a little bit right on my nose. This is the best. It's the Laura Mercier highlight, which I'll link to this exact one. And for lips, I'm using the Pillow Talk liner, which is just one of my all-time favorites. I also have a darker shade of this, but it's just the most perfect natural without being too nude or too pink or too tan or brown or orange. It's just so nice because it defines your natural lip shape without adding too much of a color or something. And I'm just gonna use this, the lip injection, because I've just been loving a clear gloss. And like I said, I've been loving one that's a little extra plumping. That's a good one. Use the Airbrush Flawless. The Airbrush Flawless Setting Mist. So good. And the mist is just perfect. It leaves the most beautiful like finish on your face. It's not too shiny, but it really does kind of like meld everything together, and it keeps your makeup looking fresh. Like it really does add just an extra like staying element, but I love that. It just makes me feel done. And that's it, you guys. So yeah, just low effort, you know, get the products that do all the work for you. You've got this beautiful look that's like natural, you know, if you're up close on someone, like you can't even detect like heavy eyeliner or anything. Like I said, in that photo on Instagram, and I'll post some close-ups of this look too, like on my stories, and even like a new post that you guys can see. It's just not like overtly detectable. Like, okay, like that's a lot of eyeliner, or that's a lot of blush, or a lot of this or that. It's just, I think, good products that wear well on your skin, things that make a huge difference, a huge impact without so much effort or product. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'll link to everything that I'm wearing. Like I said, you gotta pick up this top, and I wanna get the pants that go with it, or were they shorts? But now I kinda wanna get like the whole little vibe. But anyways, y'all, thanks for watching. Love you so much. Another big thanks to Nordstrom, everything you can find there. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye, y'all.